Black brothers, strong brother. There's no one else above us. You know that. We out here rooting for you. Talking about black brothers, strong brothers. There's no one else above you. Shout out to Angie Stone for the historic and iconic song dedicated as like a love letter to us black men and black boys. Appreciate you, Angie Stone. Whew, okay, y'all, just finished running. It's been a minute. I had to get back out here. I felt myself kind of slacking off there. And, it's my summer of getting myself together. Dang it, I meant to put an article in here. I'm going to put the article in here in the description box. Good morning, David. What's up, man? Because I see so many things in the news, and by the way, like, share, and subscribe to this video. My YouTube channel, my Rico the Opinionist page, group page, Twitter, Instagram. I'm all over the place, you hear me? Okay, damn it. I didn't know what the sentencing part of this case I was kind of following. I don't know if y'all remember here in Dallas. Well, it was like Mansfield, Arlington area, where this young brother was on video getting beat up by this dude that's claimed. Hold on one second, y'all. Dave, what is this? What do you think about FAMU football coach being suspended by Coach Willie Simmons? I don't know. I have to get back with you on that because I'm trying to see exactly what that was about. What was he accused of? Let me know real quick. I think I ran across that story, but it kind of went by as a blip. So, David, tell me real quick, what was he accused of? Or was that Because I know the FAMU president was one of those persons who took his ass on that little excursion to Israel. But that's the coach suspended. The coach suspended the team. Oh, he suspended the team. Okay, I'm gonna look into the story and I'll come back with that. Okay. I'm gonna read up on it. All right. Okay. So anyway, hold on, let that airplane go by. Okay, so the young brother, young black male, y'all remember that video that went viral of him fighting off this young man who was basically mopping the classroom with him and beating him up. He was the younger brother of an older brother who had allegedly robbed him when he was out there supposedly selling drugs, right? And y'all saw the video of this boy beating up this older kid in the classroom. And the boy, when he got through, he reached in his backpack and got a gun and shot him. And he shot a teacher in his rage. He shot a teacher. And I think another student was injured in this. So that same young man he was in jail for a minute. Then his folks, mothers, aunts, sisters, and all that, they bonded him out of jail. All this happened last year, I think. And they had a welcome home party for him. And I remember when they did, then I was like, wow, come on, y'all. That was really serious. And people were trying to give him the benefit of the doubt because the kid was jumping on him. And the young man was beating him up out of the classroom. Again, the young man who was beating him up was the younger brother of another kid who was that kid who was beating up the older student. His brother had already, I think, allegedly robbed him and humiliated him earlier within that month or so, right? Something like that. So anyway, we saw this, and he went to court. And day before yesterday, they charged him with attempted murder because he shot the teacher. And the boy who was beating him up, was in the hospital for a long time, and his family and everybody were, all sad and praying, asking people for prayers for his recovery, so it's a whole mess. Yesterday was the sentencing phase, and when I saw it on the news, some of the excerpts from court, of course, they painted him out to be a monster, a mass murderer, all of that. Hold on one second, y'all. Well, Dave said they gave access to a local rapper who was wearing FAMU jerseys and helmet. Some FAMU players were in the video. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I know, stuff happens on live. Okay. In the video, I'm going back to this FAMU thing real quick. David says that they gave access to a local rapper who was wearing FAMU jerseys and helmets. Some FAMU players were in the video, which was using explicit language. Again, no permission was given to the rapper to use the facilities by authorities. Just the players let him in. Okay, it sounds like somebody's head's gonna roll. So anyway, I'll look into that, Dave. See what that's about, and I'll see what's up. But as I was saying, back to the story of the young man here in the Arlington, Mansfield area. I didn't wait to see the rest of the news to see what sentence they actually gave him, because the prosecutors wanted him to do life in prison. And, and I don't know what they gave him. But I'm just hoping they didn't give the brother a harsh sentence, because, we saw the video of him just attacking the boy. And the boy probably fell for his life. And, he, of course, it's against gun policy. If anything, they'd probably should give him, illegally having a firearm on campus, whatever the sentence that carries. But I don't think he meant to kill anybody, not that teacher. I knew he didn't mean it. I'm going to go on a limb and say he didn't mean to shoot the teacher. The teacher and another student just got part of the melee. Because when someone's enraged or they feel that they're really acting out of survival, it's like shit, whoever's in the way can get it almost. And I'm more than sure that young fella wasn't trying to shoot the teacher. I'm more than sure that young fella wasn't his aim, his goal, his intent was not to shoot another student. His aim and intent was to get that student who attacked him. And he should have been given some leeway for protecting himself against a violent attacker in the classroom. He should not have gotten the gun. But people get tired of that. People think they can just attack you and beat you to a bloody pulp and don't think there's repercussions. And the family of that young man wanted everybody to pray for him and pray for all that. I didn't really have that much sympathy, because when I saw the video, I'm like, damn, he just gonna just clear the classroom with the fella. It don't take all that. And then some people attack people just because they think they can. Some people think they can bully people just because they can. No, I'm not. Hold on a second. No, I'm not giving permission or condoning shootings, in a classroom and any of that. But what I also don't condone is people being jumped on like they ain't shit. And then we got that bad in the black community. Black folks think that they can just do anything to you just because something you say to them. Or, as the boy was screaming, man, you gonna disrespect my brother? You got me so messed up. You should have heard his language. Yeah, N-word. Yeah, N-word. This gang. He was yelling all kinds of stuff. And just, as he pummeled and drugged the man around, could nobody break him up? That's the problem I had with that. He meant to shoot that kid who was attacking him, but I know he should get some punishment for the teacher accidentally being shot in the process. I can't say anything else about that. I can't condone that. I cannot. But I don't want him to be sent to jail the rest of his life. I want him to get 20 years. I don't, but I think hell, I want him to give police officer time. police officers who flat out murder people. I want him to get the police officer time. I want him to get 10 years with the possibility of parole after serving 5. That's how I like for that young guy to get. I want him to get police officer time. In this case, when they've actually murdered somebody flat out. So, but I don't know. I have to go back and see. I'll let y'all know what sentence he was given. And you know, they gonna throw the book at the little black kid. They gonna want him. They gonna try to prove a point. And guess what? Guess who hadn't learned anything in this process? The young man and his brother who thought it was okay to attack him, regardless if they were selling drugs or not. Well, it's because the prosecutor's gonna say he's a drug dealer, he's a murderer, and all. Come on, that man doesn't have a record. He was a suburban kid trying to be cool. But you know, try to tell these young black males. There's a movie that's called "Is There a Country for Old Men?" The question should be: is there a country for black men, for young black men? And young black men, y'all don't help with the stereotypes. You don't help your case at all when you live out these stereotypes that are already being placed upon us, upon you, under 30-year-old black male. The name of the game is to take out the strongest and the youngest if you want to weaken a community. It's already been done on the front side, you know, with no fathers in the home and moms are raising these overly emotional boys. Because when you saw that video, you know, emotional. I said, who gets that kind of mad? What kind of rage is that? When I watched that video of him attacking that boy, what kind of mad is that? And if you would ask him what was you really mad about, I guarantee it won't amount to, as old folks would say, a hill of beans. Hold on one second. And so I wish I had gone and checked out the rest of the news coverage so I could see exactly what they sentenced him to. But, you know, I don't have very much faith to think it's going to be something light because the little teacher was shot. I mean, not to minimize, because the teacher was shot in the process. You know, so you say, well, what can we do about it? It's a lot of things you can do. First of all, let's be proactive. Let's stop giving birth to children, no men in the household. We can try that. Number 2, we can try to find other things our young men can do. Let's attack the systems that are attacking them. Let's talk about the blatant racism against a lot of these boys. Yeah, there is. The blatant attack and aggression towards black males and by the cops and by the criminal justice system. Sometimes you got young brothers who won't be doing anything. But cops just, you know, let me tell y'all something. Do y'all know that a young black male could just be walking down the street with a backpack any time of the day? And the police have this 150-year-old agreement. We must keep the niggas in their place. Even if they ain't doing it, we must rain down fear and continue to harass them. They do. It's actual in the script of policing in this country. You must rain down on black males. I don't care if they're on their way, they got a backpack on, catching the bus to go to school or walking on a college campus. We have to make them always feel uncomfortable. And that's part of the script of this country. Now, what else? There should be more monies created aimed towards the proper development and the enrichment of black boys. But unfortunately, for the past 50 years, they've been raised by women. And so a lot of these boys have the emotional capacity, the emotional aptitude of their mothers, grandmas, and aunties, and big sisters or female cousins around them. So that's how they act out. And you have to constantly train boys. You can't act out like girls because you're a male. And there is a double standard. There is a difference in how the genders are treated. Even though women cry all day long like they're the ones who are being attacked and not protected. But black boys aren't protected. They're deliberately attacked on a daily basis. Not just in the criminal justice system, but in education. These boys are leaving school. Black boys are leaving schools, just dropping out of school between 8th and 10th grade. They're hardly there. Because schools they start picking at them in 1st grade. They start attacking little boys. So You're like, well, Rico, what's that got to do with the situation that happened? You know, it's a lot of social pressures with black boys. You know, this whole thing about what is cool, what isn't cool, and who's corny, and who's not corny. You got a lot of these suburban black boys. And I say suburban because if you look at the house the boy grew up in, damn near mansion, 2-story, nice big crib in the suburbs of Arlington. And he coming out here trying to be cool. You got a lot of them. A lot of you suburban parents who y'all go to work, make your 6 figures or close to 6 figures. You make sure your sons and your daughters live in decent neighborhoods, go to what you consider good schools, and they still take their silly asses down to the hood or listen to this ignorant rap music to tell them that them behaving appropriately and obeying the law is corny. If I were to sit down with that young man, I'll ask him, what's the problem, young man? What took you down that road? Why do you think you need to sell dope? And I know I'm not going to listen to those white prosecutors in that Arlington, in that Tarrant County courtroom. He's a drug dealer. He's a man. Come on, man. That's so old and so stereotypically racist. They want to call everybody black a race. If he sold a blunt, if he sold this much bag of meth, he's a drug dealer. Like his defense attorney, the black woman said, damn, he's not El Chapo. But that's how they try to do. And another thing, we don't come to the defense of black boys enough. But at the same time, we ignore the bad behaviors of a lot of black boys. You know, these gangs, you know where they come from, single mother households. But we don't do what we need to do to try to stop them as a community. We're still waiting on the FBI. We're still waiting on the police departments to break down on gangs. We can do it ourselves. It's very easy. You know what you can do, how you get rid of gangs, black gangs in these neighborhoods? Y'all know what those white developers do? They buy up the land where they live. And evict them. Yeah, their mamas got to leave, their grandmas got to leave, but hey, life's a bitch. That's what the white developers do. They call it gentrification. But really what they're doing is moving out everybody who's really not being productive. And they build these beautiful new apartments or retail outlets. And that's how black people gonna have to start doing in these inner cities where y'all know it's a blood territory or a Crip territory. You find out where they live. Find out if there's a trap house there. You don't say a word. You go to the county assessor's page, county assessor's page, see who owns the house, see how much it's up for sale, or code enforcement. You just get the house from under them. And then they'll find somewhere else to go. Just like when the white developers come in and eminent domain all the property, they all just leave. You ain't got to confront them. Just buy it up from under them. That's all everyone else does. You know, we ain't got to be trying to reason with the nephews of Satan. They don't hear you. And you don't have to worry about being a target or any of that stuff. Wherever they live, wherever you see them hanging out at, you get your money together and you buy out wherever they're standing. If it's a corner store in the hood, you see them standing up there all the time. You know the owner of the store is very complicit in them standing around his store. You find out who the owner is. You go and make him an offer. You buy the store, shut the store down. See? That's how other people do it. They don't even meet the gang members. They just ride by one day and say, oh, okay, this ain't shit. All right, this is a blighted area. This is a downtrodden spot. They ain't got a bunch of young men, 11 to 24 years old, standing around claiming neighborhoods. That they don't own a deed or haven't even written an affidavit swearing that they own it. So you go out and just buy it. Y'all get it, black folks? That's how you get rid of gangs in your neighborhood. Y'all can put the money together, get you an attorney. He can lead you all. He can get you a real estate attorney. He'll show you exactly how to do it. Or make friends with a developer. Yeah. So, I wish that young man the best, and I know they're going to give him some time. I'm sure they've given him some time because he's supposed to have gotten sentenced on yesterday. But I'm going to check it out. And I'm just, I'm just kind of over it in the sense that why is it that we pretend to not know what to do with young black males? You know, it's gone beyond mentorship. We need a mentor. We need to go out there and grab these young males. Well, a lot of them don't want to be grabbed. They don't. You know, and let me tell y'all another thing on the flip side of that. When you try to help the young black males and it's working, I'm going to tell you how the devil gets busy. Let me give y'all a prime example. There's this young man, shout out in Albany, Georgia. At the time he was 19, now he's 22 and a half. Last year, this he's 22-year-old young man. His name is King Randall the First, out of Albany, Georgia. Go look him up on Twitter. King Randall. Go look him up on Instagram. 22 years old. He thought about it, raised the money, and he opened up a school for boys. It's called the X for Boys. It's the X, the letter X for Boys.org. Where you can go and donate and read all about who he is and what he's accomplished. He was able to get the inside on this church that had a school that was vacant for years. And they allowed him to buy it. But now, granted, the Albany School Board of Education would not sell this young man one of the many vacant schools in their district. Because he wanted to make an all-boys school, in a school where boys can come there. The same boys he had been mentoring and staying in his house when he was 19 years old, his apartment, with his own 2 children. These young teenage males who were a part of a juvenile justice system, as well as from homes where they felt rejected. He took them in. And over the years, they grew. The numbers of those boys grew. And he was on Roland Martin, where Roland Martin tried to pin him down to talk about some goddamn voting. He said, no, that's not my issue. My issue is rescuing these young men who need rescuing. And Roland Martin's about, well, don't you know voting rights are important? The man said, that's not my fight. My fight is for young black males' survival. Then it went viral. Then he was on Comedy Hype. He did an interview with a sister on Comedy Hype. Then he ended up on Fox News with Lawrence Washington, the black dude on Fox News. He's on there quite a bit. But notice, I named all these places, but he's never been on any national formal black media outlet like BET, TV One, Bounce. None of these black bloggers with 100,000 subscribers or more never had him on. Who was he on? No. All these black popular YouTubers, none of them. And even in the black manosphere. And those are my people. They never had him on this show to talk about what he's going. I'm going to ask them, I wonder how come members of the black manosphere never interviewed him. So it's been conservatives having him on their platforms. And because of that, black folks, all of a sudden now they're paying attention to him just to tell him, better watch out for the Republicans. You know, everything ain't what you see. And if you start accepting support for them, they're going to have you on a hook. They're going to have you, stupid shit. Instead of you, he wouldn't have to go to, come on somebody. He wouldn't have to go to the conservatives if black folks would have reached out to help the man. Who was helping black boys. And you always hearing things on the internet talking about, we need to go out and help black boys. Well, here's one who was a young black boy, 19 years old, grew into a young black man who was helping young black boys. And where are the national figures in the National Action Network with Al Sharpton, the Rainbow Push, who just got a new head? What's the name out of here? Of who's the preacher of Friendship West? But he just got it. He was just named. What's that name? Fred Haynes. Well, I'm not going to put that on him right now. He was just named the new national leader of the Rainbow Push because Jesse Jackson, who's been inactive for the last 30 years, he finally stepped down with his dementia. And I said, wow, y'all let people damn near dig their own grave before y'all ask them to get out of these seats in those little Negro organizations. And so none of them, National Action Network, Al Sharpton, 100 Black Men of America, none of the major black fraternities, none of them reached out that I know of. He would have said so to offer him support in what he was doing. This young man was actually built a school, but to re-educate these young men, because his Albany school system has the same poor scores as Memphis, Tennessee. Black kids, his boys are barely reading at third grade level. Barely finishing school. So and the only way that the Albany school system would have partnered with him is if they say, yeah, we'll let you have the school, but we got to give you, but you got to use our curriculum and use our teachers. Like, oh, hell no. Yeah, it's y'all curriculum there in the school, in y'all Albany school board system. Where the kids can't hardly read now. That's why I'm creating a separate school that's not under your jurisdiction. So they wouldn't sell him to school flat out. Now, had it been a school from somebody else, they would have let it go. There's no black folks. He's talking about these are black people that did this. So it brings me all the way up to this. Most recently, do y'all know? First of all, hold on, wait a minute. After the school was open, it's been successful and people are coming in. He took the first house that I think that he lived in. He went and bought it and got donations, bought the house, rehabbed it. I think it was a house he grew up in or something. He bought that house, rehabbed it, and turned it into a boarding home for his boys to live in, while they're in school. And so that's what he's done. And while he was doing it, do you know the city tried to, I'm gonna tell you, black people. Now y'all say white supremacy, it doesn't, y'all have to understand white supremacy doesn't just have a white face. You got a lot of Negroes who are on code, who have their assignment to make sure that other blacks don't come up. And then we got black city officials came in and tried to shut the boy's school down. He was following all of the rules, code enforcement and all of that, but they still tried to come in and sabotage him, opening up, rehabbing his home, following all the rules, all the guidelines to open up a boarding home for those boys. He had a video on his Twitter feed, where he was showing people coming to his house. He was watching them from his cell phone camera, I guess. Coming to his house, sneaking under the fence, jumping the fence. Now, he's not there. The house is not open. It's still built on. They crawled under the fence to come in to try to sabotage this young fella. I say when God is at work, how the devil gets busy. So now this happened earlier, like a few months ago. So within the last 2 or 3 weeks, during the summer break, while he was on the summer camp that he created for his boys, he happened to drop by the school and saw that somebody had broken into the back door, some busted glass, walked into his school and literally trashed the boy's school. The young man's school. Trashed it. Pulled out sinks, snatched pictures off the wall, tore up desks, tables, drew stuff all on the walls, ripped out plumbing. I mean, they went through it. And I said, and he said when he got home, he saw 3 young people. He held them at gunpoint until the police got there. He was with his boys, with his young men who he mentors, who he educates, was standing there with him, had to watch him hold the gun on these boys until the police arrived. Y'all don't think there's some sabotage going on? Yeah, and we'll say, let's go out and help young boys, but not help them in a way that's actually working. He's helped them in a way that's working. And not just white supremacists or white folks who will not want to see this, but it's black people who don't want to see this. Hell, I don't know. But anyway, but still, there's work that needs to be done. And we're going to have to get out there and do things to try to encourage these young men not to do this weird dance with the criminal justice system. All that I've said, well, they still have a choice that they can make. Like all of us did. We all made a choice. Either we're going to go right or left. A lot of us chose to go right. And we've all been influenced by the same influences. So we can't say, well, Rico, you don't know where they're coming from. Yes, I do, because I came from similar backgrounds. And a lot of young boys, a lot of grown black men came from those similar backgrounds, and we made it through. What's happening is that people around them are continuing to tell them the bad behavior that they're doing is okay. And unfortunately, a lot of people around them are benefiting on some level from the bad behavior of a lot of black boys around them, black boys that are around them. And so I'll just say, just keep chugging away. We need to create more King Randalls, not just 19, 22-year-olds, but some 30, 40, and 50-year-old King Randalls. And these so-called black organizations that's supposed to be mentoring young men, King Randall set the bar that y'all need to now look up to. He has raised the standards. Because 100 Black Men of America and all these fraternities and Masonic organizations with mentoring programs, y'all got to step it up. This one young man, with a little help from his friends, have really raised the bar. And those of us who have these YouTube channels, we need to really speak on these issues about young black men. We can talk about them and their bad behavior all day long, because that's easy to do. But we're going to have to get out in these streets eventually. Start getting some of this money from the state and federal government, hell, to clean up our boys. Because we need them. Hell, I'm 54. A lot of y'all in y'all 50s are getting older. We can't continue to move on, progress in our lives, while the people who are coming up under us are just almost damn near savage. We have to attack the rappers. We have to attack the we have to attack the rappers, male and female, because these are the immediate and direct influences on these young people. We have to attack them, to get rid of them, to let them know this ain't going no more. We have to. The little gang fuckers, we have to attack them. We can't continue to glorify this behavior with movies and music and what else? Movies and music, mainly two things that catch the attention of young people like 5 to 20, 25 years old. That's the generation that we're losing. But anyway, I just wanted to just share that because of that case that was just brought back to the news, the local news here on yesterday. And it just drums up a concern that I always have when it comes to young black boys. You know, who's going to look out for them? Those who want rescuing. Now, there are those out there who just say, I'm fine with being, savage. I'm fine with being hood. I'm fine with being less than. That would be fine, too, if you didn't prey on other people who don't want to be hood, who don't want to be savage. Hell, if y'all just form a circle or a small community away from us and just take each other out, that'll be fine. But the thing is, y'all like being ghetto, y'all like being hood, you like being ratchet, you like being thoughts. Y'all like being all of that, but then y'all feel the need. Y'all worse than members of the LGBT. Y'all worse than members of the pedophile community. Worse than members of the trans. Y'all cool with being y'all, but y'all want to force your mess on the rest of us who don't get down with being hood, savage, thug, ignorant, sinful, trash, stupid, dropout, uncooperative, unproductive. So the rest of us out here trying to get it on. And while the rest of y'all out there doing y'all. So those kids, those young people who want to do better, y'all can gravitate towards me. But those of you who want to be niggas, keep the fuck away from me. All right? And I mean that. Because we got too many young men out here and too many young women who want to do right. And that's why when I mention all these other groups, we need to be present for them. For those who want to do right, who want to be rescued out of this situation, who just need a hand up or some direction away from the foolishness. And those who don't, who are too far gone, please, I'm not going to bother y'all. Don't bother me. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Remember, this is all blues Saturday, not only in Memphis, Tennessee, but on your Pandora, your iHeart, somewhere. Let's get some Bobby Bland, some Tyrone Davis, some Shirley Brown, some Denise LaSalle, some B.B. King, some Lil Milton. You hear me? Let's get it on. You hear me? Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.